the movie. I made the movie for. I'm a comic book guy, and I made the movie based as much as I could on that aesthetic. And so I don't know how else to do it 100%. So it is what it is, you know.
I know that Zack doesn't make the movies, and none of us are making the movies for the critics, so to speak. You can't kind of go into that with that perspective. So I know we really hope the fans like it, and so far the reaction's been really positive on that front. So we just hope that that continues, and that they feel that we're making the films for them.
What is going on, y'all? It is your boy Quamon Star G. Y'all already know what time it is. And welcome back to the Moldiverse. It's Moldiversity time. And we are here to talk about the thing you expect us to talk about in the way you expect us to talk about it. Can y'all guess what it is? Quickly, do so in the comment section.
Comment.
Like, comment, subscribe, share it to your family, let them know what it is, tell them to do the same, start a conversation. And yeah, a lot of crazy stuff is happening this week. It's Comic-Con week, and we got a lot of crazy stuff being announced, and we also apparently got a lot of big lies being told. Just straight up, the Rolling Stones published some bullshit from the now defunct Warner Media about bullshit in regards to the Snyder Cut movement not being official and not being run by humans. It's being fraudulent.
Gasp.
And of course, a bunch of untalented hacks ran with this as some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Symbol of validation that, of course, this movie and the people who fought for it, they were not serious. They were bots. They were individuals who created these bots in order to bully a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate into acquiescing to their will.
Double gasp.
So, yeah, for those who don't know, which is probably a small amount of you guys, but for the brand new people who might be watching us for the first time, we have Moldiversity, though you cannot see our faces right now, but somebody will put our faces or a video of us doing insane things around the time of the Snyder Cut being pushed for, or the Snyderverse being restored. We fought hard for it. We are real people. We've been a part of numerous fundraising events to both raise awareness for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, as well as building up hype for the movie's release. And we have known hundreds of people, more or less, who also have done the same thing. And I, for one, find this latest and probably last attempt by Jeff Johns and John Berg to discredit the Snyder Cut movement to be the most laughable of all of their previous attempts, because this reeks of desperation and reeks of one final attempt to ingratiate themselves back into the Warner Discovery fold. And they do have a lot of stupid people who would regurgitate this because they know how clickbaity it sounds, and they're anticipating on individuals being upset and speaking on it. The problem I have, and what I will soon toss to my co-hosts about, as you can see their names on the screen. Sorry for just launching right into it, but it's right on my mind right now. It's very disingenuous, and this corporate dick riding is very, very whack to see from individuals who also cover or care about entertainment medium, specifically a corporate entity as historically corrupt and morally bankrupt as Warner Brothers. Forget Zack for a second. Let's just look at all the other creatives that have been accosted by them, whether we're talking about the 1930s, where the literal original Warner Brothers were keeping directors from accepting Academy Awards because they felt like they deserved the credit. to the numerous other scandals and individuals they let produce and direct movies throughout the years, to the actors that they tried to cover up their misbehavior as well. So if there's one company that absolutely deserves to be taken a ride of and to get the better of, it's Warner Brothers. And the funniest thing about it is we didn't even do that. We made our voices loud and known. We let them know that we wanted to see the correct version of Justice League. It's not our fault they lied and over exaggerated and embellished the logistics of being able to do that. We didn't have no problem. We had nothing to do with that. They're the ones that said that it didn't exist at all in any capacity, which was a lie. They're the ones that said that Zack was happy with the 2017 movie. That was a lie. They're the ones that said Zack handpicked Joss Whedon to do it. That was a lie. They're the ones who said that the cast and crew were told and happy with the decision. That was a lie. They're the ones who tried to cover up the abuse and racial abuse that cast members and crew experienced. That's them. We as fans are the ones who spoke our voices to get that rectified and get recompense for the individuals accosted. And most importantly, no one told them to use Zack's family tragedy of him losing his daughter and use that as an impetus to remove him from the film and take everything he worked on and toss it in the proverbial garbage can. No one told them to do that, but they wanted to do that because they felt like no one would care that this was happening to Zack, and they didn't care about his suffering or anything. That's the most malicious and downright disgusting thing they could have possibly done, which we thankfully have spoken about and will continue to speak about until for as long as this is a thing. So that's just my opening salvo thoughts. What are y'all thoughts and opinions on this?
The entertainment industry is full of morons. There, I said it. It had to be said. As that industry full of morons. I mean, people. I'm so on my best behavior. I promise, but
You need to be Drake and you be on your worst behavior.
It's just, I'm very disappointed that this is still a conversation. I'm just very disappointed, but I'm not surprised because this is the beginning of the end for a lot of old Hollywood, tactics. Like I continuously say it, and I will always say it, that there is this new, like, air. There's this fresh air that's been brought in, and people can't stand it, and I know that everyone sees it. And I'm just going to say the Snyder Cut signified the death of filmmaking from, I'll just go ahead and say Gen X filmmaking. Like, it's over. The tactics, the way people market, like, it's all of that is over. I think having fans so vocal and actually getting shit done for once, this actually signifies a big significant change that can help or harm, a studio or, filmmaker, whatever. And since it benefited a filmmaker, I think a lot of filmmakers and, other artists understand that this could harm them because, nobody's putting up with the BS anymore. Like, Richard, the stuff that happened with Richard Donner, that's not going to happen anymore. And countless others.
And I agree, because back then, you could hide certain things. Like, if this happened like in the 70s or 80s, it would be hidden pretty well. But now, with social media and the internet, you can't hide this anymore. Like you can't hide your wrongdoings anymore. And the power of what the fans want to see in this particular instance, in this particular example, is the power went to the fans. And by so doing, the power also went to the filmmaker. And that's something that these studios are scared about, because if the power goes to the fans, then they don't have the say so what the poster looks like, what the trailer will look like. Like they won't have that type of say so anymore, because the fans know what they want. And now it's vocalized more of what the fans want. Like I said before, like, it could be right or it could be wrong. They could go both ways. And with Zack being the type of man and the type of director he is, people, they love his work, they love the man that he is, and they want to see his career flourish in the way that it's supposed to. And, when we did the campaigns and we were doing all this stuff, it showed. And they were trying to make excuses by saying that, we were bots, even though we know that's not true. And to try and sugarcoat it, knowing that the release of the digital release of the Snyder Cut was coming out that next day, pretty much trying to overshadow it. But we didn't let that happen, because the days of trying to hide wrongdoings is over.
You can blame, in my opinion, you can blame the mafiosos getting hit with those RICO charges back in the late 70s, early 80s, because I'm just gonna say it. Now you got a bunch of nerds trying to play Godfather in Hollywood. That's what this is.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
it's just a bunch of
Yep.
nerds who saw Godfather one time and then they loved it, because they learned them a little something, and then they say, okay, I'm going to do this my way or the highway. And then they think everything's supposed to be like Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it. And they think that they can they think the Meek Shall Inherit was for them, but it's very much not, because, it's the age old thing of the victim becomes the asshole. And the question, were they really the victim to begin with? Like, they're just a bunch of privileged kids who are nepotism babies in some way, who got what they wanted, and now, they want to put it off on somebody else because,
Exactly.
they see real fans, and they're not real fans. They're not fans. They are, they only in it for the business, which I all respect, but, they see how this is now, and they see these fans who care, and they don't care about them. They don't care about their fans. And you have somebody like Zack who does, and that's, that's a problem.
It's a
Y'all know what I'm
problem.
talking about.
Go ahead, Mike.
Beep boop boop bop bop bop.
Oh my
No.
God.
No, I was saying it's a
Bebop.
problem. It's a problem when you have, like you say, a director who actually cares about his fans and his own work and what he's trying to bring to life, and you actually have people who stand behind that, and you have these corporations or these people that want to take that, that original or organic feel away from actually creativity. You want to steal the creativity for a couple dollars and shit like that, and control.
Period. Just like how they used to do Spike Lee.
Yeah, and I tell you who it hurts, because we've been part of it. Talking about victims, like the people who get hurt, who are the main ones who call stuff out? It's normally people of color. Like we are the ones who call this stuff out, and we are the ones who take a lot of the hits. We are the ones who take a lot of the hits when it comes to doing what's right, and because we've been through it, like it's happened to us, like we've done it, from experience, like it has happened to us, and yeah, I just wanted to make that point.
I mean, let's go ahead and let's dive into it. You know, we are we're always asked to play the game, and if we don't, you know, we're given like 50 lashings and put back into the hut where master wants to make sure we shut up. And I think that's most prevalent with Mr. You know, Ray Fisher, because I'm gonna continue saying this. The way he's been treated, you know, regardless of what anybody's opinions are on his politics, his, you know, whatever, the way he spoke up and the way Jason Momoa spoke up, very similar, but Ray went in harder, you know, after a while. And only one got chastised, you know, only one has been basically, you know, really affected by this and, you know, basically iced out from a lot of, you know, a lot of the clicks. And I still don't appreciate that. And I still want to know where were the people that look like us and that look like Ray, you know, when he initially put himself out there, you know, who were part of all of this. I got a real problem with that. But, you know, the fact that they've gone after Ray and they still go after Ray, you know, that's just an issue. That is one of the biggest issues I have with this whole thing.
Hmm.
One thing I don't like about the whole with just Ray Fisher as who he is or whatever, I think it's just crazy that people are just like, oh, he's lying, oh, this, that, and that. Every time he says something, it's like, you know, why is he still talking about it and this, that, and the third and all that? It's just like, I mean, that's something that he experienced. You cannot take away somebody's experience. But it just shows a lot of people's characters when I see the comments that they be leaving. I be like, you're literally, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be funny, but you're a racist. Like you're taking away from this black man's experience of what he feels and emotionally and just physically, like you're taking that away from him. But the crazy thing about it, he's still using his platform, and everything that he said in the beginning is still coming to fruition. And y'all still
Right.
don't see the shit. Like I think that's the crazy thing. Like even when he wasn't really like going for the juggler and was just leaving breadcrumbs and stuff, y'all was trashing him. But the fact that stuff is still happening, puff pieces, that when the actual movie is coming out on digital and then that article comes out, you don't think that's a coincidence? Like, what the fuck?
Well, and the crazy thing is, what made you think like all their other attempts have failed? Like all their other attempts of trying to pretty much try and bury this movie have failed. So what makes them think that a Rolling Stones article talking about how that we were bots, how is that going to stop us from buying it on digital anyway? Like it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of time. Like it's just a waste. Like what I'm about to pull a card. What was the reason? What was the reason? Like, please tell me. Tell me.
Yeah, it's a lot of, just like I said, it's a lot of bullshit. It's like, I know a lot of people want to validate themselves and say Zach is a bad person or he's not the person that is deserving of this protection and loyalty to his fans. So they'll latch on to anything that implicates him as being less than perfect just because they follow behind James Gunn and Joss Whedon still, and they think standing up for them despite their numerous bullshit makes them better people. But it's like I said, it's between them trying to make Zach look less than holy or trying to frame Ray as a liar. This shit is very tiresome. It's very, very tiresome, and I'm over it to a very, 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 very unhealthy degree at this point, because it's like, who cares? Like, you're really crying tears because I can't even put into words now. Like, you're really crying tears because this movie got made. So much so that you'll just believe anything about anything and not use your own God-given context. And you'll just say anything and just fucking, like, it's so goddamn annoying. Like, who cares? Grow up. Stop telling folks not to take this shit serious while you're literally taking it to the most serious degree and believing personal lies about complete strangers. And with Ray, it's very much like, God damn, this man has held the receipts all the time, and y'all still just playing this man face like he don't know what he's talking about. Like, will y'all give that a rest? Like, he's been on it from day one, and y'all still not learning. Y'all still don't really get it. So it's just like, I what is it gonna take? And we've joked about it before, but it's gonna take Zack just going off on y'all to really hammer it home. Is it gonna take everybody else who apparently like is chomping at the bit to clap back, but don't, because they are trying to take the high road? Is it gonna take that? It's very lame. And like Ray pointed out in his recent thread, homegirl who is responsible for Rolling Stone's entertainment department, who was the head of this, she sucks. She's a very, 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 very unprofessional woman from the sounds of it. The fact that she's willing to post these lies to try to discredit a digital release of a film that these folks were butthurt that had to come out, so fuck her. And as I've said before, fuck Jeff Johns, fuck John Berg, and the rest of them. And this is just lame as fuck. And I'm personally glad that Warner Discovery did not even remotely pay this article any time of day, because it's stupid. It's a non-issue. And it's just the same type of tripe that the previous regime would have bent over backwards to try to make news.
I mean, period. Ain't nothing else to say on that. Because I mean, like, honestly, and I think we've asked this from since the beginning. Like, who does this really affect? Like, what is a movie's release, or who does it affect? Like, in a negative sense, because it just doesn't make sense to be like so butthurt over this. It's just a movie, unless it means something more. Like, it means something more to Zack, obviously, and the cast and the crew and stuff. But if it means something more to somebody behind the scenes who just did not want this to be seen in any capacity, like, what is the reason? Like,
Right.
for real, for real.
And it's too late. Like, it's already been on HBO Max. Like, a lot of people have already seen it. Like, the numbers, even though they keep saying that they don't have the numbers, like, the numbers are probably sky high. And it's like, the movie is already deemed a success. Like, what? Like, like, let it go, Louis. Let it go.
Yeah. Like, for real, because it doesn't make any sense at this point to be still trying to shut something down when it's over. Like, it's over. It's been over.
It's a circle. It's like, it's a counter reaction of the positive people who are for it versus the negatives that are not for it. And it's just going to be an ongoing cycle. But I think the difference between the two is that us that are positive for it, even with the whole bots thing, what did we do? We all tweeted gifs that we were robots, and we turned the negative situation into a positive situation. We didn't, as they say, we didn't get rowdy, we didn't cause a fuss or a fight. We just said, oh, you think we're bots? Everybody tweeted a gif of a bot or robot and hashtag, digital Zack Snyder, all that. So it's like, I think that's the difference. I think there's a point where we don't get aggravated or agitated. We may be annoyed because it's like, it's the same constant shit. This man can't even breathe without y'all talking negative about him. That's going Zack or Ray. So it's like, it's a circle that we're stuck in, and it's like, how do we break the cycle? Like, how do we move on? How do the negatives move on, and how do the positives move on?
Yeah. We need new journalists. That's what we need.
Okay, let's talk about the journalists because I have a theory, and I may be wrong.
Well, one of the way we can move on is if these stupid motherfuckers just stop trying to make a living off of trying to be Zack Snyder haters. Like, I know they've been eating good because they've been having the time of their lives peddling it because people figured that Zack is an easy target or whatnot. But like, that would be another way to move on from it. Another way is to, like Aaron said, get better new journalists, but that would require that these people were journalists to begin with and not a bunch of puff piece dirt sheet writing unprofessional douchebags.
Oh, I think Mike has a theory on that.
Go on ahead, Mike.
I just think it's funny that the main topic was about, the fandom or those who were in support of Zack Snyder being bought accounts and stuff like that. But then I think about it, I'm like, with social media and with journalism now or social journalism, I feel like you have to be in the crowd to actually have something to actually write about. If the fandom is a bot, you're a bot. I think journalism is a bot. I think you have to participate in the chaos to actually write about the chaos. Yeah, you can just look at it and all that, but I feel like you have to participate in it too because it's almost like a science experiment. You have to have the hypothesis. You have to test it out. You have to go through your course of action of experimenting and seeing is your hypothesis right or is it going to have the outcome? But I think journalists have become bots as well. I don't think it's just the fandom. I don't even think the fandom was bots. I just think that was just a bunch of bullshit to say that a group of people who were in for this movie or in for Zack Snyder or in support of, Ray Fisher. I just think because of the numbers, it may look like bots because everybody don't show their profile picture. A lot of people do not reveal who they are, but that doesn't make them a bot, but I think journalism is a bot. You got to participate in social media because a lot of people are not buying print newspaper or print articles. Everything is social media based. So I think all you journalists are bots.
Preach.
As well. You can't call one person one thing when I think you're doing it too. Just because you have that one main account, you got that other account as well to get the scoop, to get the news, and make a little comment.
So just for a little clarification, when you say journalism is a bot, Mike, you're basically saying that the people who got a main account reporting on the news, they also have several other outlets to have their influence out there.
Yeah, you cannot say that there is a problem and not cause a problem.
So let me because I want you to dive into this a little bit more because people's point of contention, air quotes being used, even though y'all can't see me. Hopefully next time y'all will see my beautiful face. When people's point of contention is that the bot saying that they're not real. They're the things that people use like automated. If there's something that needs to be spearheaded, they'll use an automated fake account. They'll use this, they'll use that. So what you're insinuating, what you're saying is that these journalists who report on that in some capacity, they use the same sort of outlet. They too influence things using automated accounts, or are you simply stating that they have other alternative accounts, not necessarily robots who monitor it, but they have alternate accounts where they can blend in and dictate the flow of conversation?
Based off how you just said it, I would say two would be more of what I'm saying, but I would say both of them. Like I said, you have to report on something. You can't use the main account that you You can't use your main publication account to get the news. I mean, you can, but if you want to be in the mix and you want to be in the numbers, you want to have some type of reaction, you have to do it from a bot account. If you want to
Right.
say,
Plus,
you
we
know,
know, like, it's an open secret. Everyone knows all these big publications on social media are using bots as data mining so they can see what's trendy and stuff. Like, they're not slick. Like, why do you think the algorithm exists? They're using bots just as much as everybody else. They just are mad that, you know, they're gonna get caught. You know, it's like, you know, you can't throw stones in a glass house. Like, you can't do that. You can't throw a stone in your old house and then say somebody else threw the stone, because it's the same nonsense. It's the same nonsense. But like I said before, most of these journalists, in air quotes, are just classist, elitist, and egregious assholes who can't write themselves out of a paper bag, let alone spell paper bag. You know, and they know that. Like, journalism is basically dead.
PAP,
Like, it's basically dead.
PAPERBAG paper bag.
Like, they can't do it. They cannot do it. And they know they can't do it. You know, and there's a lot of jealousy because you got these people out here who really focus and hone in their craft, you know, and I'm going to keep saying this, it takes 10,000 hours to be great at something, to be an expert at something. None of these fools did the time. None of them. And, you know, they think they have what it takes and they just don't. And it's becoming more and more obvious, you know, as social media becomes bigger and as, you know, people, you know, the general public are more vocal. Like, nobody's buying the bullshit anymore. You know, this stuff may have worked in the 90s. It doesn't now. You know, nobody can be a mama bear for their stuff anymore. It just doesn't work like that.
So here's my question to you guys. When it comes down to it, when it comes down to the journalistic integrity of this, of reporting on this, so what, how rather can we make sure that we control the flow? And I know people who will hear this like, to control the flow, so you just want to swap out. No, what I mean is, very, as Aaron has alluded to earlier, there still is this air of old thinking that is not reflective of the current landscape. You know, I, for one, get fucking tired of people saying Zack Snyder fans are fat, bald, white guys, when that's literally the people who hate his shit. And the people who like his shit tend to be very attractive looking, sexy, I dare may say, people of color, LGBT people, minorities who got themselves, who are young, who are about their lifestyle, you know, who care about the proclivities happening throughout the world, you know, things of that nature. And yeah, you can point to the people who say they are fans and use slurs and stuff like that. But of course, we don't vibe with them and we will call them out when we see it. And we also are going to say, because it's fair and it needs to be said, that you can find that in Marvel, Star Wars, Star Trek, Power Rangers, the whole nine. Those type of people unfortunately exist in all aspects of fandom. It's not just exclusive, nor is it prevalent in the Snyder DC fandom. So, how do we control that narrative with, at the very least, showcasing that this catch all way of describing individuals is not at all how we should be going about it? How do we create a non disingenuous network of individuals willing to do that?
I say we take journalism somewhere and push it somewhere else. Yep. No, I really don't know. Like, I would say we need. Ooh, that's a big question. question. Like, I personally, I do think we just need to lift up more voices, um, who still have the integrity, who are willing to not be as biased. Uh, but that also comes down to like changing laws and stuff. But I think we have to find more voices, who are willing to speak up, who are actually doing their job, like, all those indie journalists who, nobody pays attention to, like, hear them out, amplify their voices, because 9 times out of 10, and they're hungrier than these ones who are at the top already. So they will give their all in what they have to say, and 9 times out of 10, they will say, what's right, what's wrong, facts, and no bias, no nothing, and they'll actually, get to the nitty gritty of what is needed to be said, as opposed to, doing some fluff piece. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, pretty much, uplift the people who are doing and writing the right thing, and just keep calling out the people who are writing BS, and just keep calling them out.
I want more. How can I say this about journalism? Because I feel like journalism is a way to express, but I want it to be expressed about the right things and the things that need to be not negative, but more positivity in journalism. Also, letting the voices that I feel, I'm not going to go deeper into it, but people that I feel that have had opportunities to write, but have been, um, what is the word that I can say? I don't want to say put down, but put to the side, or not have their voice be heard when they are, super creative with their words and their voice. I want those type of journalists to be, uplifted. I want those people that don't have the opportunity to actually write or, use their voice for the greater good of, entertainment. It doesn't always have to be negative. It doesn't always have to be a fight about something. Sometimes people just want to write and, speak their piece.
Mhm.
Period.
Facts on facts on facts. On top of facts. So is there
Did
anything?
y'all buy y'all tickets to the robot convention though?
Yeah.
Beep, boo,
Because
boo, beep.
I cannot wait. I'ma say beep 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 boop beep beep beep.
Oh, is the theme going to be twerkulator?
Oh,
Time
it's
for the
time for the
percolator.
twerkulator.
Time for the
It's time for the
percolator.
twerkulator. I'm so glad we not on camera.
Beep, boop, bop, beep with it.
Okay. Beep bop beep bop.
A good old robot uprising. Never hurt nobody.
I need iRobot 2 right now. I need any robots that are out there listening in the UF, in the United States, the world, space and beyond. Because we done seen them pictures of what space look like and beyond. Reach out to us at the Modiversity YouTube account,
Yeah.
Modiversity Twitter account.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel, bots. Okay, we are for bots.
Because we're where fandoms matter.
It's a
Oh
safe space for
God, y'all are
bots. It is a safe space for bots.
We're also here for bots. Bot
now I can
supremacy.
get that out my head. Beep, beep, boo, 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 boo. Beep, beep, boo, 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 boo. Oh, Mr. Krabs was hip. He was hypnotized. Oh God.
There's a joke there somewhere. There's a joke there.
Indubitably. So, is there anything else? Anything else we want to talk about? We want to add to the
The crack epidemic in the 80s was awful.
Ooh, America has a problem. Cocaine.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
that's gonna be
Hashtag
good. I know.
universe.
Ooh, I know she's gonna say some stuff in that song.
Girl, it's the cup. Okay, this is not the time nor place. Oh man, I just want. I think I will say for me, from a closing remark, I think I just want both parts to fully embrace the movement and just, it's time to really look to the freaking heels and run. Because I think for me it gets annoying, and of course I think us as in multiverse, yeah, we're going to stand. We're going to stand for Ray Fisher. We're going to stand for Zack Snyder. But I think for me now, it's like, can we really like just move forward? Yeah. Like, leave the puff pieces alone. This man is sitting up here at Netflix working on a whole new rebirth, rebrand of things. And I think we need to full focus in on that and just support him and Ray on whatever they do. At the end of the day, the naysayers ain't gonna be nothing but a bunch of naysayers.
Period. I want my article about Taika Waititi not using that many black women. That's what I want.
Same.
We are not talking about Thor right now, because that is for a different. That is for a different episode. I promised them. I got three rants.
Never happen. It'll never happen.
I got three. I still got 3 rants.
You can put them in the ether. I ain't talking about that movie.
Well, I'll ride solo.
They gotta pay.
I got you. We're gonna talk about it. It's all good.
No,
they can send in their comments.
Look, Mike said he got some words.
Girl, because I'm still pissed. Like, I'm no shade. I'm still pissed about that damn movie. Because the more it sits with me, I'm just like, I think y'all playing with me. And I think y'all playing in my face at this point.
Somebody trying to set you up.
And then you want to send me this lead slate. Girl, I don't believe it.
Well, like I said, I will absolutely handle this. I'll definitely handle it.
I'll pray for y'all.
I don't know why. I don't know what made you think I'm gonna run from it.
No, I'll pray for y'all. Yeah. No, I'm just help the movie. My prayers might help the movie because y'all finna jump it.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Y'all finna jump it like a game of Phase 10. Never again. Never again.
Phase 10?
Never again. Never again.
In closing, we might do a spaces later on to be able to talk to y'all and get y'all's thoughts and opinions on it. Now it's been a couple of days and maybe some things have happened in the interim, some extra context. But in any case, this has been your folks at Mold Diversity, talking it up, chopping it up per usual. Y'all see us on the screen or not, depending on what's showing on the screen right now. But it's been me, Quamon Star G, Odd Geek Mike, Avia, and Aaron. And we will see y'all later. Everybody say peace.
Bye.
Oh, also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And go follow us on all of our other accounts.
Yeah.
They'll be in the description below.
Because if you don't, we're sending robots.
Of course. Okay. Alrighty. Peace.